anyway, like I was saying, I've learned how to solder on my button box, which has definitely been a fun experiment. My button box for my sim rig works. All of the buttons work. They glow, which is fun. But yeah, the hive's nest of wires that I just shoved in. If you imagine like when you build a PC and you just shove all the cords in, that's basically what I did with the button box and made sure that all the cords are attached and everything. But soldering's fun. I can see why people get paid full-time jobs just to solder all day long. It is an art. Like just like welding. Like it takes a lot of work and a very steady hand. And I can't even imagine like those micro soldering that people do. Oh, it's got to be freaking pain and suffering. But yeah, I want to do that. I want to do a flag box. I might want to do a telemetry screen. If not a screen on top of everything that can monitor my telemetry above my main 49-inch screen. I wish I could show off my screen to the pod because it's a big boy. It's a big boy screen. Can't you confirm that, Joe?
It's a hefty beast.
Got a slight curve.
It does. Yep. But it's perfect for sim racing because you you get very immersed very easily. And like a lot of them have 3 screens. Two on like the side and then like one in the front, and like you go all the way around. That way you can like look at the rear view mirrors and stuff and look around you. That would be a step. I would have to have my own dedicated PC to do something like that. And that would be I could use my server PC. Could. I'd like to keep that a server. So that's a good time. I also just got back from Mexico. As you guys can see, I am glowing right now, just glistening from all the sun I've gotten. Just ignore all my sunburn on my scalp and all the peeling.
I was gonna say you don't look any different.
I don't look like a bronzed god, James. I'm not a Fabio.
No, because you're about as white as I am.
Yeah. We definitely
cannot
burn.
tan.
I tan really well, actually.
I do not tan at all.
I joke. Yeah. We basically all burned on the first day, and then we were just freaking scrubbing, like bathing in it afterwards.
How was it?
So nice. It was like 80s every day. We sat by the beach. We were in the adult section, so like we could get all the booze and liquor you wanted. They kind of watered down a lot of the alcohols.
That makes sense.
It was definitely so much necessary. You just got back from Mexico. Was it last month, Joe?
No, we go next week.
Oh, I thought you went before us.
No, you guys go 1 week before we go.
But you're still going. You're going to Cabo, though, right?
Yep. Different resort, probably.
Are you going to the which one did we go to? We went to the Hard Rock.
I don't know. We're not going to the Hard Rock, I don't think.
Okay.
No, we're going to a Rio.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be fun. Is it all inclusive?
Oh yeah, that's the only way to do resorts like that, because then you don't have to worry about paying for things. Granted,
100%.
when I did Jamaica and we did all inclusive, I absolutely hate tipping. Tipping is so stupid.
Well, that's different though. So like tipping in Mexico and Jamaica is you're actually supporting people's lives.
True. Yeah, I know you're doing that. It's just it's
a pain.
I just don't like tipping in general. I wish that all employers just paid their employees better and we didn't have to worry about it. Especially when I'm on vacation, I don't want to have to.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And for a fact that these resorts make enough money to pay their employees enough. I mean, here's what I would do. Looking back, we should have did this. Go to the bank, get $100 in fives, and just tip a 5 every time.
Yeah.
Good to go. Yeah. So that's what You need to. You should.
I've never been to Mexico.
I would imagine you would be the perfect person for an all inclusive because then you just pay for everything up front. Then you don't have to worry about it, and then everything at the resort is free. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about money, James. You've already spent it.
And the alcohol's real good. When I was in Jamaica, I started every
Eh.
day with a rum and coke. Like it was Appleton rum, so like the rum made at a nearby sugarcane plantation. And the Coca-Cola was nice and ice cold. So that was my coffee every morning was just or in lieu of a coffee, Coca-Cola and rum. Oh. Clara and I recently actually 2 nights ago. Or was it last night? No, last night we watched Deadpool 3.
Nice. What'd you think of it?
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was good watching it again. Especially it was a lot better with a little bit of alcohol in my system because I could look past some of those childish jokes. And it's like, huh, that's funny. But Claire liked it a lot too. So
Has she seen the other two?
She's seen the first one. We all went together, remember? For Valentine's Day.
We went to the first one?
No, you weren't there. I went
No.
with some other people from Northern.
Yeah. No, I was a missionary then, I thought.
Yep.
Right then.
I went with Alex on
Oh.
Valentine's Day,
Interesting.
and that was a great time. And Alex was supposed to come with us,
Okay.
but he
Okay.
was out hanging out with his girlfriend Sierra.
Oh yeah.
And I what was it? We were sitting there waiting out, and I was like, it's like $10. He proposes tonight, and not
He
like
did?
5 minutes later, we got a picture of a ring on her finger.
Nice.
Nice. Easy money.
You can just edit out the name, James. You can just edit out the name.
Just put a little blurb in there. And
Like
there you go.
friend.
Yeah, I suppose.
So
Yeah. Whatever. We're still working on some stuff with the pod. I think we should do a different. I think we should find more of an 8-bit intro and outro. And if whoever's listening has any recommendations, or if you want to just keep it the same, we could do that too. But I think it'd be a nice little addition. I do like the Catholic Lo-Fi. I think we should try to reach out to them and say, hey, can we just use something?
I mean, I could. I do not.
You don't like Catholic Lo-Fi?
Oh, I like Catholic Lo-Fi. I think they would take one look at our email. Or Matt has specifically stated that he usually doesn't say yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
what about this then? How about we talk to the person who wrote the Catholic Lo-Fi stuff and commission him to make an intro and outro song?
I mean,
Because
yeah.
Matt Fradd doesn't make the music. He pays someone else to make the music.
A bit of it. I think he also might have a bit of. He writes, and I think he's into music too, because he was in a band.
I bet he was in like a ska band. I bet like he was like in a ska band before his conversion.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like some sort of like Metallica cover.
A new metal-esque.
Well, he's a huge Metallica fan. So.
Yeah. But I would say I think we should try to commission someone. That way we actually have the rights to the songs or something like that.
I do know his sister recently moved to Steubenville, and she's a musician.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. Something lo-fi, something 8-bitty lo-fi. I think that'd be super fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like what we have right now. But...
I do like what we have. I just think when you hit the drop, I think there also needs to be a little bit more of tape or like a quicker taper out, but that's just me.
Yeah. I wish I had more control over that. Right now I can just do a simple fade. I can't control where the level is because I would rather have like the music in the background longer, but at a very low level. Yeah. I haven't figured that one out. And I would like to, if I can figure that out, I would definitely do that.
Fair enough.
But
if whoever's listening, if you think we should keep it, change it. I think there's also talks of maybe changing up the cover art a little bit. We did in our little group chat. We talked about some ideas. If anyone has any ideas?
I'd like add a rosary.
Yeah, add a rosary, add a cross onto controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something cool like that. Or if anyone who listens to the pod knows of anyone that works on commission, we could do that, or wants to do something for free, or if you want to design something for the pod, that works too. Yeah.
I mean, I am on a Discord server that a group of guys might be able to do something because it looks like they're into like drawing and stuff, but I don't know whether or not it would be acceptable for me to even just like say, "Hey, can you do
You're gonna
this
get
for
kicked
me?"
out of it. You're gonna get kicked out,
Yeah, get
James.
kicked out.
GTFO nerd.
So, but yeah. All right.
I think
Well,
Fiverr is gonna be our best bet. But anyway,
yeah. But well, actually, I was going to do it myself. I was going to find a illustration of a rosary, invert it to white, put it into Illustrator, kind of mess around with the where it's at, so it's looking like it's almost like
meshing.
folding over it of
Mhm.
the yeah. So,
That is an
but
option.
I recently have started a new job. We are still unpacking. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Christmas. So this it'll probably be a while, but
Kwanzaa for those who celebrate.
it's a fake holiday.
Exactly.
Like it's legitimately a fake holiday.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Xmas for you Futurama fans.
I'm always a
Did
fan
we
of
lose
Festivus.
Joe? Oh, okay, there he is.
No, I'm still here.
Joe's just blinking in the back and zoning out like he normally does.
Well, there's not too much to comment. Connor's saying it. James is saying it. It's good conversation that doesn't need an annoying third person.
Third wheel.
Exactly.
Joe, do you always feel like the third wheel on these podcasts?
Sometimes.
Joe, you're
But
our
that's
favorite
all right.
third wheel.
Thanks, buddy.
Crowd favorite.
Probably. So,
Anywho, we should
all
do
right.
the
So
intro.
Connor, you have the idea of this podcast. What are we talking about again today?
Yes. So the idea for this podcast, it was something kind of we kind of throw some ideas around for a person. I have ADHD, which you probably not surprised to hearing, but I kind of sit up work sometimes and random thoughts come to my brain, and I was like, you know what, this might not be a bad idea. But my idea for the pod was to pick what is one game that you have a stupid amount of hours on, that or one obscure game that you have a stupid amount of hours in. So it's not so much that you have a ton of hours in it, but you have why do you have so many hours in this game? This is like a single player game. Like why this game of all games? Like nobody's ever heard of this game. Why? What's your reasoning behind playing this game so much? So I'll go first, just because I had the idea and it would kind of set the stage for the rest of them. But my game that I've played is Treasure Planet Battle at Procyon.
Okay,
Have either of
so
you heard of this game?
until you texted us what the heck this or what your game was, I literally went, "What?" And I looked it up, and sure enough, it's on Steam.
It is on Steam. I would not recommend really playing it on Steam. I mean, you can play it on Steam. Yeah, you can play it on Steam. With modern monitors, it doesn't allow you to go anywhere above not even like the thousands of pixels. So you're basically forced into the top corner of your screen to be able to play the game. And there is mods, I guess, out there that allow you to change the aspect ratio and stuff. It doesn't really work the best. Like I said, modern gaming, not the best for it. But I played this when I was a kid. It came out in 2002. I remember getting a disc from a demo disc from, was it McDonald's? I think was when it came out. So I got the demo disc, went home, threw it in my computer, and I was like, let's test it out. And you play through the first two levels. And I tell you what, I played through those first two levels probably a good 20 hours just playing through the same thing over and over again. Just because the basis of this game is you play as the main antagonist. Oh, what is his name? Jim Hawkins from the movie, which also Treasure Planet, criminally underrated. Let's just throw this out there. Criminally underrated as a Disney movie.
It's a
They
great
basically
movie.
made the movie just to appease two of their like greatest animators of all time because they wanted to make it, and then basically shipped them out afterwards. But it's an epic like 3D ship battling game. Single player only. As much as there is multiplayer in the game and it's staring you in the face, and I've always wanted to play it multiplayer, single player only. Um, and basically you're set in the realm of the Treasure Planet universe, and you're basically given ships to go into ship battles. And like there's a plethora of different weapons you can use. There's like the standard cannons, there's torpedoes, there's mortars. You can pick massive, slow moving just ships, and then small little like frigates that you can move super fast and like circle around people. You can board other ships, and take over other ships, and like little mini battle areas, laser cannons, um, yeah, and like you can control up to like 10 different ships at once, and so you can get like massive ship battles in game. You can pick individual parts of the ship to destroy. So, like, you can destroy rudders, you can destroy masts, which basically like prevents them from moving around and stuff. And then sink other ships. And the storyline, amazing. Like you're trying to figure out where the Procyon are coming from, and they make these giant ironclad ships that run on like kind of like a pseudo coal, and those are super fun to play with. But yeah, I just remember playing this game and just getting immersed into the whole like Treasure Planet universe and just playing ship battles just constantly because every time you play it, like it's got a ton of replayability. Um, that you can do like open map skirmishes and like create your own crews, um, and like spend a certain amount of money on ships to like have different things going on. And yeah, there's a lot of different armaments that you can have for ships. You can play as 3 different types of, uh, like, civilizations. There's like, the English, and then there's pirates, and then there's the Procyon, so you can figure out different things from there. Yeah, there's just like, this very super deep, rich game that you would never look at it from the outside. Like, you could just play so much in the game. There's so much you can do within the game, from the story to the skirmishes, that yeah, you could just play for I just could play for hours on end, and I did, just because there's so much going on within the game. Um, but yeah, that's kinda, and it follows after the initial, like, Treasure Planet movie. So, it's takes place at 5 years after it, which I also really like Treasure Planet. Go watch it. It's a great movie.
That's
Any
kind of nice to
questions?
see. I was gonna say it's nice to see a video game kind of take the place of a sequel, because a lot of sequels don't really do that great at capturing the original essence of the movie. But I feel like a video game would do pretty well at that.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Just because you become Jim Hawkins, and like you're followed around, and you yeah, he becomes part of the what do I say, like we're basically fighting for to find John Silver, Long John Silver. Because he comes into it because he's supposed to be dead, but then he's alive, and then yeah, different like yeah, different going on, and it does really cover a lot of, like, the post-movie realm of Jim Hawkins, because he becomes a man, like, he becomes part of the ship force? I don't know. The Majesty's Her Majesty's Empire. So, and then there's the Procyons, which are kinda like a raccoon-type civilization. Um but yeah, I've discovered it on Steam, which I then started playing a little bit. So some guy messaged me because I joined a group on Steam, and he was like, "Hey, you want to join our group?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, showed me how to like get multiplayer working. I never could get it working, and like how to mod it to actually make it work. It's basically abandonware now. Like I'm surprised I haven't seen a game like it with the depth of the ship building. Um, to anything similar. The closest thing I would say that kind of scratches your itch is what's that one pirate game we played, Joe?
Empyrean?
No. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves.
But it's not Sea of Thieves whatsoever. Sea of Thieves usually have cannons and just random cannonballs you pick up. Like, and the ship battling is not, it's not nearly as complex as it is in this. But there's also, I forget, there's another like free to play game that's like ship based. That's kind of out there too, but I've never actually played it, but I've seen videos of it. It's like War of Thunder or something that you see on like YouTube channels that are like sponsoring them. So yeah, it's a good game. I like it. I probably, like I said, stupid amount of hours in the game that probably for no reason, but the CPUs are really good actually. So like you can keep playing it, like you can ramp up difficulty, which is fun. I just wish I could like modify the game to make it multiplayer because I would say you guys should buy it because I think it's not a first person shooter, obviously, but I think you guys would like the strategicness of it. Or we could just all be part of a civ and then just take down all the CPUs together, you know? Like we could all command our own ship and then go from there.
Does it have multiplayer?
It technically does. They don't have servers for it, and they don't have the ability to make your own server. Like you can't make like a dedicated server or anything.
Mm.
So it's been shut down for a long time. Long time.
Your clicking is being picked up on the microphone.
Ah, dang it. Okay, sorry. Sorry, listener. Sorry. But yeah, there is multiplayer technically, but not too it's not accessible unless you're really gonna dive in the deep. I would honestly pay someone to like try to go into like figure out how to make your own, like crack the source code and just like go hog wild. Because the only problem is it's still owned by Disney. Like it's still a Disney IP, so you might get into trouble. Good times. It needs a remaster for sure. It's a prime example for a perfect game to remaster. But because it's so unknown, it will never get a remaster.
Yeah, if I've never heard of it, that's pretty obscure.
That's my game. You guys, what's your guys' games?
James, why don't you go first?
Oh, Joe, I was thinking you. You can go ahead. You look tired.
I'm a little tired. My game is Hyperlight Drifter. Game on Steam. Don't know if it's only on Steam. Made by the developer Heart Machine. It is kind of a 16-bit game. I'd say its main. Well, there's a lot of reasons I love this game. But combat is challenging yet really rewarding. So once you actually learn how to play the game, it becomes really rewarding to do a lot better. Or sorry, to reap the rewards of what you've done, as well as you play, you get different gun upgrades, and so you are still just as deadly as you were at the beginning of the game, but now you can, utilize different aspects of how you shoot and how you move, how many dashes you have versus using your sword. It's really complex in that matter. And also it's very, if I remember right, because it's been, let's see here, that'd be 6 years since I played. But from what I remember, it is open world in terms of I could go anywhere in the world that I want to. There are certain areas that are locked off or a little bit harder, where kind of like a Metroidvania, you'll come back to those areas. But I think in the very beginning, like you've got 3 different choices of places you can go. and all of them like have different. I don't want to say aspects, but they have different. What's the word I'm thinking of? Themes, I guess. Like maybe one area more the enemies bomb or self-destruct. Another area, they take flight. When they're on flight, you can't hit them, so you have to wait for them to land first. So lots of different aspects like that. So the combat, really fun. There's lots of different like tools you can use. The music is absolutely stellar. For a lot of it's like either techno wave kind of synth feel, or they use just a straight up piano in an empty room.
Mm.
So very, I don't want to say haunting, but it definitely gives you like this feel that the world used to be great and now it is empty, and it's just this beautiful, vast, ruined world riddled with dangers and lost technology that your character is discovering. But that piano helps fill that void with that empty, lost, yet sometimes kind of hopeful vibe and feel. That kind of brings me also to the graphics. Oh, the 16-bit just looks beautiful. They use lots of really nice colors. Every backdrop really punctuates how beautiful the game is. Like maybe there'll be deep greens or deep reds, punctuated by like your grays and other techno, I guess kind of darker colors. And then you got your pops of like neon, purple, blue, cyan, that kind of stuff. So really shines in terms of how it looks, even though it's 16-bit. It's like one of those older that looks like an older game. Where they make that, they fully utilize the 16-bit to make it look really, really stunning.
Like the colors are very, like they're more than like 16-bit color.
Yeah. Like it looks more like
a 16-bit plus.
Yeah, 16-bit plus is what I'd probably call it. But fully utilizing that, so it looks like a work of art. And I've talked to Claire about this before, but I like a lot of those more not blocky, but games that go back to the 16 or the 32-bit graphics, because with a lot of the newer games, they become outdated very quickly because it's like, oh, well, somebody can make a better graphics for this game. And so it quickly falls apart. Like I'm thinking like Mario 64, or heck, even let's say Super Mario Galaxy. That now looks old in comparison to Mario Odyssey, and I'm sure there's going to be future Mario games that compale every single previous one that's come before it. But your 16, your 8, and your 32-bit games, they really shine because no matter how old they get, they've found a way of perfecting how those games look, using your colors, using your how big an object is. And it's kind of like the old CRT games in a way, where your brain helps fill in all these gaps. It makes an image a lot more beautiful than if you could see it absolutely clearly.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing about so the old CRTs would like yes, you have blocky pixels, but this CRT then created the softness for the pixels. So
Right.
it blends it into that. So it'd be really fun to play this game on a CRT,
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Honestly, getting an old CRT that would do something like that would be awesome. Although I watched one video on it, so of course I'm an expert now.
of course.
Of course. It's hard to find those kind of yes, you can find an old CRT for cheap, but it's not going to be one of the higher grade ones that actually cleans up the image a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least allows you to tune it for whatever you're doing. So it'd be nice. It'd be a passion hobby kind of thing where if I were to get into it, almost like I have to kind of fall into my lap, or I have to find somebody who knows more about it before I jump into it.
Yeah.
Finding old CRT, that is.
I have one.
Is it? I don't know enough to ask what type you got or which one, so never mind.
I can go over and look at it if you want me to.
But Hyperlight Drifter, I 100% would recommend anybody play this game, and it's not as obscure as Connor's game. Probably some of our viewers have heard of it. If you have not heard of it, trying to think of a game it's comparable to. Like the hardness definitely feels Dark Souls-esque, but everything seems like it's a Souls-like these days.
Yeah, it's almost Salt and Sanctuary, but top down instead of side by side.
Yeah. I've only played a little bit of Salt and Sanctuary, but yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's another obscure game for you.
Is it procedurally generated?
No.
Not
Hyperlight
Banished.
Drifter.
It's there's a game that I'm thinking of. Bastion. Reminds me a lot of Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion, or let's see, that company made a different game that also kind of reminds me of it. At least the look. Transistor? Yep. Actually, I played Transistor the same time I was playing Hyperlight Drifter, like around that same time.
Is it close to like Hades?
Yeah, actually, yeah, with the dodging, it's very close to Hades, very similar to that.
Hades basically took Transistor, Hyperlight Drifter, and Bastion and perfected it.
Yeah. So Connor, yeah, go give Hyperlight Drifter a try. I think you'd like it.
I will throw it on my wish list.
Actually, it's already on your wish list.
Is it really? Are you
Let's
looking at my
see.
wish list right now?
I'm just looking at my main homepage for it.
It is on my wish list already.
You added it in 2022.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you recommended it. I think it's on Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, it'd be great on Steam. Well, it is like you can play with the controller, but I would recommend keyboard mouse.
Oh, okay.
Just for like that precision, like it's a harder game, so you don't want to do anything to diminish how good your game is.
You want to have what do I say? You want to have precise movements.
Yes. Oh, most certainly, because not only is it where you shoot, but it also matters like where you dodge and how you use how far you can dodge. Because there's also some puzzles in the game, kind of like in Hollow Knight, how to get like some of the better achievements or better upgrades. You have to go through a little bit of a gauntlet kind of a puzzle. This one has the same thing where there's gauntlets you have to go through in order to get minimal upgrades.
It's almost kind of like Enter the Gungeon as well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of that too. Kind of, but Enter the Gungeon's a different game.
Yeah. You had me play a little bit of that one if I remember right.
I did. We played co-op in that.
That's right. That was fun. We should do that again sometime.
We should play that again. That was fun.
But yeah, if this goes on sale, Connor, most certainly pick it up. And actually, they're making a new Hyperlight Drifter that's a third-person shooter, which I don't know how I feel about that. It's called Hyperlight Breaker, I think.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, this game would be amazing on a CRT.
Oh yeah,
it would be great. But yeah, it's similar to Hades and Hogwarts Legacy is what Steam's telling me. Not to change the subject, but this is just came into my brain. Have you been playing anything on your Steam Deck lately, Joe?
No. Which I've got some games downloaded for the plane ride to Cabo. So I'll have lots of stuff to do. Currently, I'm playing Pokemon right now again, just because I want to get an achievement, or not achievement. They're giving out a shiny legendary Pokemon if you can fill out your Pokédex with all Pokemon from this one game. So even though I have a full living dex, I have to transfer them over from the specific game, and that's been a little bit of a challenge. So, not that's fun, but I want that legendary, yo.
Oh, 100%. I went out on the way to Cabo. I started playing Need for Speed Underground 2 again.
Ooh.
I forget how fun that game is. But anyway, back to Hyperlight Drifter. Looks like a fun game. I do like the art style of it. Is the story pretty good? Pretty decent?
Actually, so it's a lot like Dark Souls. Well, no, okay. So it does give you cutscenes, like forced cutscenes where, let's say you enter an area, your character may fall and he remembers the past. There are no words to the story. Nobody talks. There is no dialogue. It's all told through images. Like video images. Instead of using words or text.
Wait, it doesn't use audio images?
How do you mean?
You never heard of audio images?
No.
Images audio wise? It sends you all those images through your ear holes.
Oh yes.
That you're really sensing all those images through your ear holes,
Obviously.
not through your balls, your eyeballs.
I'm very confused.
I'm joking. You can't hear anything through your ears, or you can't see anything through your ears.
I think Connor confused himself.
I'm tired.
Goodness gracious.
We're hitting that point of the night.
In that case, Hyperlight Drifter. I'll recommend it. Go play it. James, what do you got?
God, you freaking can't.
So I have two that come to mind. I don't have like a stupid amount of hours in either of these games, but I'll see what you guys have to say about these. The first one I was talking to Connor about this is a game called Neo Scavenger. Have you guys heard of this before?
No.
Nope. I have not.
Go ahead and look it up on Steam while I'm talking here.
Neo Scavenger?
Yep. NEO, new word, Scavenger. Essentially, you play, it's like an isometric hexagon, like you're a lone character moving around, and you emerge from some sort of like cryogenic facility, and the world has gone to crap. And it's a stupid, hard, post-apocalyptic survival game, but it's also a roguelike, and it's very detailed. And it was made by one guy.
That doesn't surprise me.
So,
it's definitely giving me Project Zomboid vibes.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, the combat in this is awful though. It's turn-based. It's mostly text. There's not a lot of graphics. What you see is what you get. You really have to kind of just build and kind of understand the story from where you have it. But yeah, no, it's a very hard survival game, and I have died many a time because the game just would not provide me the things needed. Where you
got the wrong seed.
Yeah, you just starve to death, or you're dehydrated, or the dog man finds you and kills you, or it's man bear pig, man bear pig, half man, half bear, half pig,
man bear pig.
I'm super cereal, guys.
Super cereal.
I have over 20 hours into this game. I have recently gone back to try to play it, but because the game is so old and was made by one person, it's got some graphical issues. Like
I don't think it's supported anywhere. Probably.
2014 is when it came out. It's like, what was it? It's like a 720p game. Like it struggles even just on my regular monitor.
It's funny that you say the combat sucks, because one of the awards from Rock Paper Shotgun is the best combat of 2014.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I just think that's funny.
And then like extra credits, they talk about it too a bit, and so I mean it's a really interesting game. It's like I said, hyper detailed. What was it? If you like pull things up, your pants have pockets and things can go in that. You can carry around different backpacks. Everything has durability. It's a whole thing. Like what was it? If you want to sleep on the ground, you have to pull out your sleeping bag and put it on the ground. If you want to cook, you have to create a fire. It's very, very much in depth. The writing is very good. The actual game mechanics is very good. It's very clunky. The creator of the game is working on a new project called Astronauts. I don't know if you guys have seen that at all. Where it looks like he's really he's almost doing like a Space Station 13 kind of thing, but he's creating his own thing for a single player kind of deal. And it looks very fascinating. Once again, hyper detailed, very fascinating. I really do. I do love those kinds of things, cyberpunk and space oriented. So,
yeah. I mean, it looks like it's a fun. I mean, I shouldn't say it looks like a fun game. It looks like a terrible game.
Yeah, it looks super challenging. Not something.
It looks not to knock it.
Yeah.
It just I think it just looks very challenging. It doesn't look like my kind of game. Like
No.
I played enough Project Zomboid to get super frustrated,
Connor,
and just like I kept dying.
You would become very frustrated. You would be like, I don't know how to move, and now I'm dead. This is stupid.
This is a Wikipedia game.
Which is sad because there's really not much to it. This is a
Wikipedia game. You need to have a Wikipedia up, and you need to have that up just so that you can look up things and pause things so that you can go and look things up, and that way you can figure out what's going on, and that way when something else happens, you can look that up and then keep going and keep looking things up.
Yeah. The game does a very poor job of trying to tell the player how to play the game. It's very much a
trial by fire.
It's like a Dwarf Fortress kind of thing of just like figure it out. If you know what I mean by Dwarf Fortress.
You've showed me it. I don't remember it.
Okay.
I do remember you showing me, but I don't remember it.
It's basically what provided RimWorld with the idea for RimWorld.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a game that's been going on for like 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Made by two brothers. Yeah. So
Yep. I've heard of it. And it's, like you said, still being made.
Actually, they've technically officially released it with.
Oh, is it a full release technically?
Yeah, updated graphics. So it's actually it's not like ASCII code and different colors.
Nice.
It's actually done. I guess the other thing that when I was looking through my list of games here is actually a horror game that I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of. It's called Duskers. Have you guys heard of this?
I can't say that I have.
Joe?
No, I haven't heard of Duskers.
Okay. I'll have you guys look that one up too.
Okay.
So, in Duskers, you play...
Everything is dusty.
A captain on a derelict ship, and no one's responding to you in space. And so all you're doing is you have 3 drones, and that's how you're able to...
How do you spell Duskers?
Duskers.
Yep. So what you do...
K-E-R... Oh, Duskers, got it.
Yep. What you do is you have to basically... You connect to each derelict ship that's just floating around, and you just need to find survival... you've got to find repair parts for your ship. You have to... You just have to survive and like find fuel and things like that. But what becomes what's very eerie is there's no one out there in the entire universe. It's just you. And so as you keep on connecting to these other ships, you're beginning to pick up more data on like what has happened, and you're the last human ever. And the only way you're able to engage with the environment around you is through these through these drones that are going onto the ship, and you can only command them either through a direct video feed where you can see right above them and you can control them, or you can provide them commands via a command line. So you actually have to like type out, drone to open door A something, but it's slightly shorthand. So you got to kind of have this like hacker feel kind of deal.
Hacker man.
You're kind of got this hacking kind of thing going on. But there's also the horror element because the things that have killed off humanity, and I quote things, there are different kinds of enemies out there, are on these ships. And they attack your drones. And if all of your drones are killed off, you lose.
You only have the 3?
You can get more.
Okay.
But you start off with 3. And it is so like what was it? Sometimes you need to open up a door but you kind of need to see like what's going on in the environment. And so you'll have to like do the not first person, but it's almost like a second person where you're looking above the drone, and then you open the door and then all of a sudden something like jumps out and then the feed cuts. And then you're like, crap! Oh no, my door's open. It's going to attack the other. And so you have to like it really gets.
Do your drones have a way to defend themselves?
I believe you can find like a gun that can be equipped onto a drone, but different drones need to have different tools because there are different obstacles in the environment as well. So you're always kind of like playing that game of like, what do I need? What do I need to provide?
What drone needs to go into what environment?
Mm-hmm.
How have you scouted it out? Have you figured things out for there? Wow, this guy, I'm watching a video and the guy kind of doing like a paper style of it. He's very thorough. Yeah, looks like a fun game.
Yeah, and this is one of these games that the atmosphere is so good. When I first started playing this, I hate horror games. I actually turned off all the lights, put on headphones, and was like, like trying to immerse myself in the atmosphere. And it's
full deep.
It's so good. Like that. This is a game where you turn off the lights, you put on your headphones, and you just try to dive into the atmosphere, and it's spot on. It's so good.
Yeah, actually, it does look kind of fun. Yeah. So, would you say the horror element is what causes you to go back in and keep playing the game, or like to rack up as many hours as they have?
So, I would say part of it is that. Part of it is just the atmosphere, like. After watching so much like Star Trek, every now and then you're just kind of like, what? I want to kind of feel like you're going on to one of these like ships that, there's no life signs, but we have to get aboard. And yeah, there's just this, the atmosphere is really, really good. And then of course the unique game mechanic of controlling the drones via typing commands is, I've never seen it before.
It's won a bunch of awards.
Yeah, actually it did. Best interface. Some indie games named it Game of the Year, but I didn't find out about this game until 2019. Like, so it won all these awards, but no one ever talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, just because it wins awards doesn't mean it actually people play it.
That's true. So, Joe, you have any questions for me?
No. It seems like a really cool game. I like that horror space element, and that's kind of what you said earlier. A lot of the games you play are that space. Did you also say apocalyptic a little bit, or at least dystopian?
I do play a lot of those. Yeah.
I was gonna say I like I also enjoy space games as well. I wish I could find more that I'm looking for. Played a game on the PC way back in the day, and I own it, but of course it's what'd you call that, Connor? Not dumpware. Abandonware?
Abandonware.
Yeah. Where
Yeah.
they just kind of dumped it on Steam.
myabandonware.com.
Maybe not then. Just basically something that they jumped onto or dumped onto Steam and never actually fixed the game to work on Steam. See if I can find it quick. So that way I don't steal your
Probably-
thunder. But
Probably Abandonware. I really like the artwork of this game.
Oh, it's so good. Like it feels like you're on a console. Like on a almost like a
You're, like,
Alien
staring at a console.
1980s console.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
I
so
really like
good.
the artwork of it.
Yeah. Well,
Alright,
and
I
then
found the game. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, and then like the footage of the drones when you're manually controlling them, it's this like it's not perfect picture. It's very much gritty, grainy. So you don't quite have like a full visual of what you're seeing, and then it's you can't see completely around you, right? You can only see what's in front of the drone that you're controlling. So there is a point of view that you're in control of. So there could be something behind you, and you'd have no idea.
Yeah, right. Because you've got a scanning distance, you've got something that you're looking around, and like, but if something's behind you, you have no way of knowing it's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
So, but yeah, that would be that's my yeah. I've played more.
Okay,
I've
since
played
you have a
more of my
second
first
game, I'm gonna say my second
Yes,
game now.
go say your second game.
But it's not really. I wouldn't say it's unknown, just because the IP is already well known. Like everyone knows about the IP, but the game itself is an older game that's not super well known. It's Spider-Man. That's the name of the game. Spider-Man 2000 specifically. It's one of the first Spider-Man games. It's one of the first 3D Spider-Man games ever made. It's critically acclaimed, very like critically rewounded, and like a lot of the atmosphere for the modern Spider-Man games are basically because of this first Spider-Man game. It's not open world by any means, but it gives you kind of an open world feel. And it's got a really, really good story. Where Dr. Octavius basically releases this chemical onto the world, and basically all of the streets of New York are flooded in this, and your job is to go in and basically prevent the smoke being billowed out into the world. And that's the whole realm. That's the whole story of the game. But you like it's got so many different Spider-Man villains in it, and it's not I wouldn't say it's super unknown because of the name, but the game itself, because it is so old, it's super super fun. And I have so many hours in it because I speed run it. I would speed run it when I would get home from school. I would just basically hop on and just try to beat it as fast as possible. And I think I got down to like I'm trying it was in the 30-minute range of playing the game, and I have to this day it's one of those games where I still have memorized. I know where all of the um little because you would collect comic book things as like collectibles and stuff, and I know how to basically speed run the game to this day just because I've played it so much. And I watch speedruns, and like it's fun watching speedruns now of it because like obviously things have been discovered, but like I discovered speedrun strategies before they became speedrun strategies. I played it so much. So, but I can't play it anymore because it's a CD only, and
Sure.
it's not a band. I think technically it is abandonware. I could go to my abandonware, and I don't think I could. But it's kind of like Lego Island, where it goes off of your processing power of your CPU. So it basically, if you have too fast of a CPU, it basically crashes because all of the cutscenes they're like live cutscenes. They're in the game. So like if you don't have it lined up perfectly, the cutscene, it basically soft locks the game.
Shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
But the story itself is kind of funny. You can go online and watch the story, and like there's so many jokes that are just like, seriously, do you really want to crack that joke right now? For a kids game? You're gonna go that far? It's interesting. There's a lot of dirty jokes for a kids game. So yeah, little bonus game. But I remember coming home and I had a little timer on my watch, and that's how I would time how fast I would beat the game. And then write down times. And
Perfect.
try to find time saves and sorry, yep. Anyway, we're kind of getting to the point. This is fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's 11:04. My wife
I was gonna
asleep
say, we
on the
probably
couch. So
It's nighttime.
very much so.
we went to mass tonight, so we can sleep in and do stuff tomorrow. I got Christmas lights on our house tomorrow.
My new job has me working from like 3 p.m. to like 1, so I'm now really used to being it's second shift. I work 4 10s.
Wait, is this just a temporary job till you find an actual job, or is this going to be the forever job?
No, this is just a holdover.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you said you found a job.
I did, and that's this job. I found a job.
Oh, okay. So you're still applying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still applying. But this company also has a tendency of hiring from within, so there's a potential for me to pick up a corporate gig, so.
Not a bad idea.
Benefits are really nice, so. Alrighty. Anything else you guys like to say today?
Nope.
Say hi, McQueen.
As it nibbles on your oh, there you go.
My microphone.
Oh, heard some purring.
Yeah. Is this kitty ASMR?
Welcome to Kitty Catholic Gamers.
The Catholic kitty.
It's like you have Catholic lo-fi and Catholic purring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, with all that being said, thank you for listening to this podcast. If you liked this episode or like this podcast, please give us a review, follow us, subscribe to us on whatever podcast
Platform.
Yeah.
Platform choice of your choice.
Yeah, or wherever fine podcasts are found. You can always follow Connor at Fatal or at twitch.tv/Fatal Condor. Plays on Tuesdays from 7:30 Central Time to 9 Central Time, or Tuesdays, not Thursdays. Did I say Thursdays?
I think
It's late.
Tuesdays.
It's late. Tuesdays. You can always email us at catholicgamerspod@gmail.com. With all that being said, thanks for listening, and God bless.
God bless you guys. Good night.
Bye. Bye. Have a great time.
Or good morning if it's morning. Or good afternoon. Whatever it is.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I've been on a Tobuscus kick, so it's like, if you sneeze during this episode, bless you. Peace off.